Everything's working? Perfect. Okay, welcome back. I'm going to open this stream with another, kind of a clip, a conspiracy theory clip, because I love these things. Not that I'm into conspiracy theories, but let me rephrase all that. I like this clip because I think the guy who wrote Stanley Parable accidentally got a lot of shit right when they did this like rant monologue. I think it really comes from the heart. It seems like a very honest take. I want to rewatch it myself anyways, so I think we'll watch at least part of it together. It's a very good rant monologue from the Stanley Parable universe. Okay. Without further ado.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs-down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze Stanley in place while the narrator sits there forever and ever. We want all of this in the new Stanley Parable. We demand it. And then, because it was said, because it was spoken, now it simply has to happen. The most immediate desires, every single thing demanded by every person at every moment in time. If someone wants it, then it's a crime not to bring it into being. Have we been given to indulging every fleeting whim for no reason other than to do so? Yes! Yes! It seems that this is now the world we live in. It seems that we are a people living in such bleakness and discomfort with ourselves that our entertainment is now our lives. It has come to represent us. It absolutely must speak to who we are as people, because otherwise, without our entertainment, we have nothing. Without entertainment, we would have to face inward toward the cruel bleakness inside ourselves. We would turn to look at our deeper nature and find a resounding emptiness gazing back with unyielding aggression. And so because of this, we require that our amusements and our playthings and our flights of fancy be so impossibly captivating that they consume all of our attention, turn our heads completely away from the bleakness. In effect, we have demanded that our entertainment be the collapse of ourselves. What a pitiful reflection of humanity these entertainments are. What a shameful mirror to the human spirit they project. I'm not mad. I'm not mad about any of this. I'm at peace with it.
I love that monologue. It's so fucking good. I'm not even a huge fan of the whole Stanley Parable game, but that monologue is fucking gold. It is like, I don't know. I think whoever wrote it is so honest and from the heart. It's like, here's my advice. If nobody out there is a writer. I'm not even a writer, but my advice is write about what you know. And that guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. Game developer problems. Am I right? That one's so good. I think we'll have to rewatch that at some point. If you haven't caught on yet, I love rants. Anyways, today we're playing FireWatch. I was going to play it later, but, well, why not? Let's just jump right in. I did test it to make sure it was working, so let's just boot it right up. Hopefully it remains working. Okay, continue. Make sure the volume is... hopefully that's all right. Okay. I'm just going to do a quick check to make sure that the volume levels are right before we get launching into this. Because that would be unfortunate. Okay. Looks like... Sounds about right. I had to pull up the actual stream because I'm too stupid to figure out how to do it from OBS. That's life, though. I'll figure that all out later. Okay. Of course, they couldn't center it. I blame the tech. I don't have scapegoats for this. Okay, ready to rock. This is a game all about dialogue, so I would like for the sound to be as balanced as it possibly can be before we get rolling. Rocking and rolling. Welcome back to the most preachy, obnoxious person on the internet. Yours truly. I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing in here. Let's see, let's think for a second. We have objectives. Nope, we just had someone like trash our place. That's interesting. We have to fix something, but I don't remember what the fuck it was. I guess I picked out really... Oh, here we go. A little bit of a tip. I assume that's me. Survey communication lines north of the canyon. There's the canyon. Communication lines. I'm gonna assume it's like over here somewhere. And I think that's all the hint we're gonna get, probably. Hope everyone out there is having a good time. I think we'll have to rewatch that rant at some point because I find that one particularly interesting. Especially if you're a gamer or anything like that and you're like, ever think about the nature of like game development, where it's heading? Because obviously games are getting to the point where it's like AAA is king, and to be mainstream is like to have like tons of success laid at your feet. Sure, let's go this way. Probably can't go back up, I'm sure. And we do live in a world, fortunately, where it's easier than ever to get your games developed if you're a solo developer. And Kickstarters will let other games get developed too that maybe need more budget. That being said, it's the push towards AAA has ruined many games. The biggest one that comes to mind because it's recent is Callisto Protocol. Yeah, Callisto Protocol looks like a AAA game, but it's linear as hell. There's absolutely nothing to do in it. It's like there's no even mild exploration. There's no collecting. It's just like one room with like cool effects to another room. Add it with canned animations between, like vent crawling to make the loading smooth, so I don't have to do a loading screen. It's like, dude, I would have taken less graphics with like a game that actually was just fun to play. Have we made any progress? Sure. I assume we're supposed to go north, generally. I was told this game's pretty short, but we'll see about that. Well, how beautiful is this? I have spent the past 3 hours just blasting music. I'm not the kind of guy who listens to music constantly because I feel like it dulls it out after a while, you know? But it's been many a day since I've had a good party with like dancing and just getting crazy. And I do kind of miss it. I didn't party much while I was in school, but still once in a while for sure. I would have probably done more of it, except I was too busy with like passing my stupid tests. Damn them. I think this is the right way. Why not? Gap in the bush. Surely. Okay. This map is not as big as I thought it would be. So our main character, Hank, is... I don't know if you get the same beginning, but I'm going to assume that. So our wife, I think we're married, I forget, has dementia at like 41. She's in the hospital. I guess we put her there, but I assume you get relatively the same ending no matter what you pick, or the same start, I guess. Fog.
It's actually pretty damn cold out here.
Roger that. Warms up fast. The mornings are cold in Boulder, though, right?
Yeah, they are.
What did you get up to down there? I mean, what's life like?
You know, boring if you don't ski. We used to go to this bar called the Dollar, though. I love that place.
Oh, wait, is that down on Pearl? They have all the money pinned to the ceiling?
What?
Yeah, that's it, yeah.
I love that bar. Why don't you go anymore? Well, I'm sure you have your reasons. I mean, it kind of smelled like beer puke in the bathroom. Hey, can you hold on a sec?
Sure. Just gonna keep hiking and hoping it warms up.
Awkward silence.
Heyo.
Those options, but none of them are very attractive. Huh? What the fuck?
Okay, good.
Hey, your button is still down.
No, I don't think he has any idea. I'm absolutely sure. Would you? All right, I'll let you know if anything changes in that regard.
Interesting.
Hey, sorry about that. Anyway, if there's anyone or anything you want to talk about, fire away.
Is this some like Silent Hill shit where like...
Who was that?
Who is who?
I don't think he has any idea. What was that? Were you talking about me?
What?
You left your button pressed or something.
Henry, that call was work. I was just talking to... Actually, it's not really your business. Why are you freaking out?
I'm not freaking out.
Good. I'm gonna go quiet for a little bit. Call me if it's important.
Should have kept that information to myself. I like this. This is very much like paranoid psychological thriller shit. It makes me think of like Silent Hill, where it's like you're actually dead or whatever, and like you're like I guess kind of like a ghost reliving like old memories or working through your moral emotional shit. Kind of like Jacob's Ladder. Silent Hill, I think, pretty sure is heavily inspired from Jacob's Ladder. Dan Avidan apparently has watched it. He thought it was like disgusting or something. It's got some gross special effects for sure. Yeah, is this some sort of like not like a real world, or perhaps what else could it be? It's very suspicious. Or maybe I'm just getting like my character's getting paranoid, you know? Very intriguing. I'm gonna be right back. I'll get some bite to eat quickly. I've already got like super hungry, and we'll pick it up. Hmm. Yeah, I'm getting some Jacob's ladder vibes here. Like our character has like trauma that he's working through, and this is some sort of symbolic psychological world. But I could be totally wrong. Apparently, you do have to be careful what you say to characters because they do react to it. It's not just like dialogue options for the walls.
I can see the wire you're talking about. It looks like it's in good shape from here.
We'll follow it up to the top of the trail if you can. You can head back as soon as you give me the all clear.
Got it.
Okay. 4 to 4 our day. Cool. I guess we just follow this wire. Simple. I like it. Simple quest. Reminiscing about my days partying. Blasting music. I was always around like neighbors who like would party constantly because they had like much comfier lives than me. But I always felt like that they didn't know how to do it properly. You know what I mean? What's partying without dancing? That's what I say. You don't even have to be good at it. It's just like you gotta get your blood pumping. Not very interesting to anyone but myself, I guess. Brings me back though. Sure, more beer. Cleaning up. Is the point of no return. Yeah, I guess what do you do when you're like most of the main things you used to do in your life sort of like fall apart? I assume he spent most of his time like hanging around Julia and like going to the bar and shit with her, so now it's like you don't want to do any of that stuff. I guess you're supposed to remake yourself, but oh yeah, let's touch this live wire. That's a good idea. Oh, pick it up. Excellent idea. Not a good idea. Go to hell? What's that about?
Hey, so the wire is definitely down out here. I just found it.
That's actually good to hear. I can send someone out to fix it. Good find.
Yeah, the thing is, doesn't look like the wind. It looks like it was cut deliberately. It's snipped clean through, and there's a bunch of beer cans out here. The same beer those girls were drinking. They also left us a message.
These idiots are gonna pay. Do they realize this is how people die? I mean, what if something happened to one of my lookouts while this was going on? And God forbid there's an actual fire burning out of control.
What do you want to do?
I want you to go find them.
And then what?
I haven't thought that far ahead. That's not true. Everything that comes to mind is illegal.
Let's hear it.
Oh yeah?
Hey, I came out here for a breath of fresh air and some adventure. What do you got?
I think I want you to just find them and scare the hell out of them.
Yeah, I'd make a spooky ghost costume, but they stole my sheets.
I don't know.
The hell is this quest?
Wait for them to wander off and wreck their camp. Something that would make a teenage girl run home to mommy and daddy.
I'll find them.
Thanks.
But I am gonna need a raise.
Don't hold your breath. I'd start by hiking back towards your tower and just keep an eye out for.
I asked for a raise once. I got fired.
Oh, they're big into Red Eagle.
Not recommended.
Great. See if you can find the path they took down from there. Maybe
They're hiring temporary workers at a retail mall, and they're having us working like 12-hour shifts, even though it was like not a solid position. It was pretty stupid. What a bunch of clowns. find them. But I suck at that sort of thing. Our goal is to just simply find the teens. But what if it's not them? Does these beer cans really mean that it's definitely them? I mean, some beer brands are very popular. Pretty much everybody drinks them. Well. The camp? I don't know where the camp might be. I have no idea. Hmm? Hmm? Ah. Why is that popping up? Oh, it's over here.
Hey, I'm out at a ravine. What's this thing that spans across it?
That is how you get to my sector.
No kidding. Well, let me hike over.
Well, it's locked up and mainly for emergencies. I've never actually used it. Rangers use it from time to time, but that's it.
Help! Oh, God, it's an emergency!
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got eyes on a tornado. I gotta get out of here.
A tornado in the heart of the Rockies?
Yes!
Holy moly, I need to call this in. Tom, Two Forks sees a tornado. He says he needs an evac into my sector. It's a meteorological impossibility. There haven't been tornadoes in the greater Yellowstone region in 100 million years. You're gonna need him to stay and take a detailed personal account, even if it means giving his life. Okay, I'll tell him. Sorry, Hank. No dice.
Man.
Uh-huh. What is this? There's absolutely nothing in here. Var Witzen. What's the point? Behind the teens. What kind of a quest is this? Well... La oss dra till Sören. Sören. Let's go to the south, I suppose. Oh, I've been watching all the news about Andrew Tate. Apparently he got arrested in Romania. Probably on suspicion of trafficking people. Apparently he has tried to make money from doing webcam services. And these kind of ads are targeted at vulnerable people, and I guess he likes to prey on women in countries that have a lot of poverty, like Romania. So they feel like they're more desperate and easier targets, I can only assume. Oh, what's this? Meat. I got a camera now? Ooh.
Well, I am flush with ropes now. Just found an old pack full of them, in decent condition, too.
Fiend.
That's lucky.
Looks like we're making progress almost.
Leave them hooked up, I think. Oh, get this. This pack came with one of those cardboard single-use cameras.
With pictures left?
Yeah, he only used 3 or 4.
Neato.
Thank you, Brian Goodwin.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, who?
The bag had the name Brian Goodwin sewn into the top.
Oh. Well, that was a reference to someone who
Do
says,
you know him?
Yeah, I just haven't heard that name in a few years.
this is really weird.
What, was he a fella you had a thing with?
Yeah, it was so hot and heavy. Of course, Brian Goodwin was
Are you
12
still
years
drunk?
old, so, our love could never really be understood.
That's...
I'm kidding. Not about him being an actual 12-year-old. That part's true. He was
What?
stationed in Two Forks, your lookout, with his
Who the
dad
fuck is...
3
Oh,
summers
with
ago.
his dad.
Great kid.
You can bring children out here?
No.
Excuse me, Silent Hill vibes all the way.
They took off halfway through the summer.
What, they couldn't handle your unique brand of charm?
Not many can.
Unsurprising.
Anyway, so it goes. Have fun with that camera. Try not to snap anything that would scar a Photodome employee.
I don't know, I got a lot of hiking to do. Might get bored.
Well, I'm
What
bored as
the-
rocks, so I'll keep you company while you find those girls, huh?
Fossilized claw.
Someone found a fossil and put it in a cash box.
I don't want it.
Could be the same person who left that antler.
And maybe they're leaving me an entire creature, piece by piece.
Wait, how do they know that you found the antler? You get different dialogue if that's like not what you found? Crazy, man. How much dialogue is in this game? I maybe don't want to know the answer to that. Ooh, map extension. Barrah. Barrah. What's this about? Vara Mayday. Who's Debbie? I went to check on the guy at Two Forks and I heard him talking to himself. More than usual for lows, so I figured I'd stay away. Remember when you saw Chimney Rock having himself in that hammock? What? I'm starting to think the Forest Service only picks the deranged and perverted. Except for us, of course. We're the cream de la cream. Let's toast to Deb at the spot, Ron. What the fuck? Of course. Creme de la creme. Oh, your note was so possessed with cringe that it floated in midair. Do I want to keep this note? Oh, I can keep it if I'd like. I probably should have radioed it in. My eyes are like fucking dry. I was watching the Demon Souls remake playthrough that Mars was doing, because my brother watches her. That remake's pretty fucking dope. It's one of the best looking games I've ever seen, but of course it's like easier when someone's made the whole game for you. You just have to do the assets, but still. I got reminded of that though, because Mars also has dry eyes whenever she streams. The fuck? New trespassing.
Hey, Delilah?
What do you got? You found him?
No, not yet. Why would there be a fence out here?
Because sometimes hikers go ass over tea kettle when on a trail.
So the Forest Service would put up a big chain link fence?
Suspicious.
Chain link fence?
Yeah, it looks like it surrounds a huge area.
Huh. That's weird.
That is weird. Oh.
What do you think they're keeping in? What do they not want to have get out of there?
Oh, jeez.
Dinosaurs.
Things.
Should I just stop you now?
Maybe loads of hedgehogs.
Okay.
Thousands even. Full percentage points of the global hedgehog population.
Uh-huh.
The New Zealand government is up in
Probably.
arms. Where are all the hedgehogs? Well, folks are hiding them all in Wyoming.
Well,
That's where
they've
they are.
had the emu wars in Australia, so
That is the real mystery.
Really glad I kept you in the loop. Thanks for all of the
thin column of smoke.
high-quality information.
Okay. I'll ask what's up if I talk to someone think might.
Why is this game so suspicious? Okay, there's a twist to this game. I can feel it coming. I don't know if it's like Doki Doki Literature Club level of twist, but no spoilers in chat. That's a joke.
I see a really thin plume of smoke.
Yeah, I see it too. A thin plume like this is either a new fire or a campfire.
Campfire. You think it's them?
I reckon so.
It looks like it's to
Yeah.
the southwest of me.
Has to
That's
be.
right. If you hike towards 5 Mile Creek, that should put you in the neighborhood. Keep an eye on that smoke plume. Let me know if it's getting any larger.
Will do.
Or I'll forget about it. Or I'll be too lazy to report it in. Otherwise, I will. What are these noises?
Hey, sorry about snapping at you earlier. I thought about it and yeah, I suppose that must have sounded kind of weird when you heard me take that other call. Plus,
Did
you're
it?
just out here in your own head. Trust me, I know how it is. So, did you break any hearts back in Colorado when you took this job? I myself have chosen to never get attached to anyone who would miss me, but I know I'm a bit of an outlier. I don't mean that the way it sounds. I mean, I care about people, and I like companionship as much as the next person. But why does it have to come from the same person for your whole life? My Aunt Kathy was married to the same guy for 4 decades.
I love how these two characters are very different from each other.
She found out he'd been having an affair with a real estate broker for 15 years. Whereas my Aunt Judy traveled the world dating artists and musicians as she saw fit. Call me crazy, but I'd rather spend a week in bed with Sonny Bono than half a lifetime with some cheating stockbroker.
I'm actually married.
But you're here.
That's interesting.
She's sick, and I shouldn't be here, but I am.
I'm sorry, Henry. What is it?
We'll get into it.
Okay. Well, in the meantime, you are here, and it's beautiful, and escaping isn't always something bad.
Yeah, sure.
Look, I gotta go do a thing, but I'll have a radio. Okay, call me if you need to.
This game is so suspicious. I'm just like writhing with paranoia. You know what I mean? I'm sure there's a huge plot twist or some shit. I feel it coming.
I'm having a hell of a time getting this fucking flapjack off his ass and out to repair that wire.
Senior Flapjack.
Oh, man.
What? You like that? This guy is the freaking king of the flapjacks.
Yeah, that's solid. I'll have to keep that one in my pocket.
It's all yours.
Oh. This game's such a hiking simulator. Whoa, is there like loot over here?
Wow, I'm on top of a natural bridge out here.
Really? Is it a complete arch?
No, I guess the bridge is out here. Still, I think I could jump this gap to get across the canyon.
Wow, you're a regular Evel Knievel.
Oh yeah, you should see the jumpsuit I'm wearing.
Do we even want to go this way? Are we like next to anything cool? Oh, there's supposed to be a cache to the east. Let us check that out. Let's check that out. I don't know if that's how you say that. I'm sorry. I've been watching Dark Crystal on Netflix. It is a fever dream. I wouldn't say it's like the best story I've ever seen, but it's pretty solid. But like the fact that there's not a single human actor in the whole thing is kind of unsettling. It's very immersive. If you like fantasy, you'll probably like it because it is pure fantasy. Why are we getting very dramatic music? The paranoia levels are not being helped by this dramatic music. How deep does the meta go? Are we like even out hiking? Are we like actually dying and inside our own heads? Is this Jacob's ladder? Did I go the right way? Nope, but we went to another cache anyways. which I've already been to. So that's nice. Apparently I cannot find directions. Eat that granola bar. You eat it. Eat the granola bar. Do I want a pine cone? It's a pine cone, yep. I don't want that. Well, maybe that cache I already went to anyways. So we want to go to the campfire smoke. That's west. Maybe this time I can actually follow compass directions correctly. Does anyone out there take bets? Bets in chat? Gamba?
What does she have?
Fuck. Oh yeah.
She's got Alzheimer's, like dementia.
Whoa. How old is she?
Whoa.
Is she? She's alive. She's with her family in Melbourne, Australia. She's 43.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Old.
What was it like when you guys
43 is not that old, I guess, but
We were scared shitless. We went straight to the doctor after her first spell or whatever. They diagnosed her, and we were both just very scared. Can't really tell when Julia is scared. She just gets quiet. She was very quiet.
heavy stuff. What's the word for that? Memento mori or something? That's not quite right.
I'm back at the shale slide. You know, the one that nearly killed me yesterday.
You ready to give it another shot?
Do I seriously have to?
To get down to 5 Mile Creek? Yeah, afraid so.
I have ropes though.
Downhill from here.
I'll be right back. I gotta say, this is quite the game to play after getting like pumped up on music and caffeine. Kind of hard to take like a step back and slow down for the dialogue in here. I find that kind of interesting because as you get along in life, I think you start to realize that getting wrapped up with trying to find like, you know, a sudden immediate pleasure in things is a little bit of like a delusion. I don't know, maybe that's just like the Buddhist in me. I used to read a lot of Buddhism as a kid, and it's like can blind you to experiencing like the other stuff in life. I guess there's just as much pleasure in taking it slow and playing a game like this as there is to like listening to loud music and partying and stuff. The thing about partying is that it is really fun, but it definitely helps if you have people that you actually want to party with, for sure. Although it's never too hard to find somebody who's just like bored out of their mind and wants a little bit of excitement. That's how I find in life. Is that enough, though? I guess it has to be. No way. You know. How do I get over here, man? Guess we have to go down there, eh? Okay. Makes sense. This game's such a forced simulator. Come on, man. Big grunting. What's it like to be 40?
How'd you meet?
Met in a bar.
Classic.
The birthplace of modern romance.
I stumbled over
Pretty
her
much.
and told her she was pretty, and
Oh, I remember
it.
that. We did that yesterday.
I was drunk.
That helps. Yeah, I'm just too picky for that sort of shit. Which is probably why I mean, that's the thing, is like, I need a little more than, what's the word? Like superficial attraction, you know? Another pine cone. I mean, good. Eh. Oh. Ah. What's with this missing person? Oh, there it is. Maybe it's supposed to pop up like that. Mitch Michaels. Are these like dead people? Are these ghosts like in Silent Hill, or what is this? Oops. Let's keep this. Okay. What's with the wood? Ah.
Boy, for as dry as it is,
It
this
is. It
area
is.
down here that's lush.
Oh, you must be talking about the Aspen Grove down there.
Yeah, I think that's where I am.
Those trees are actually one root organism. Did you know that?
What? It's bull. I know there are trees like that. I didn't think it was these kind.
Yeah, they share their water as a colony that can live for hundreds of years, even through fire. Can you believe you're actually getting paid to learn all of these amazing things? Also, by what it looks like on this map, you'll be coming up on a stream that should lead you towards where we saw that smoke.
Looks like it. Probably a little more northward. I think we'll find this smoke here, and then I might switch over to do some High on Life for a bit. Let's see.
Nice waterfall down here.
I don't want to rush this game too much.
Skinny dipping, I bet they're nearby.
To wreck their camp. I don't know, man. This is a little,
Hey, I can see your tower. Suppose that means you can see me.
Yeah, well enough.
There was also the other suspect.
I see a campsite, and it looks like they've got a fire.
Is it them?
That seems like it. I swear, they must have dragged 4 cases of beer out here.
Track them down and don't let them see you.
Check them down.
This is. Well, I found some dangerous hunks.
What on earth are you?
It's the name of a magazine for girls. It's on the ground here at their camp. These girls have a full case of beer left here. A full case.
Well, they're impressive little shits, I guess.
That is some dedication. Some of their clothes are all torn up.
That's not good.
In the tent? That's suspicious. What's going on here?
It's been through the shredder.
What could have done that? Like a bear or I don't know, it sounds crazy, but even a bull elk if it's off its rocker.
Whatever did it, did not hold back.
You've got that camera, right? It might be a good idea to get a few snaps, just in case.
Yeah, good thinking.
You're psycho. Going to find the police or whatever and tell you about how you creeped us out on the lake and then came and destroyed our campsite and stuff. And stealing panties is a gross out. You're probably a mental fucking axe murderer and are still going to jail. Hope it's worth being a jerk over some fireworks dick. Oh, so they're like think that we did this part of it. Or maybe we have a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde personality and we actually did do it, but we forgot. Probably not. Interesting. I will keep this.
Well, they're gone for sure.
How can you tell?
The girls left someone, me, I guess, a note.
Well, what's it say?
Threatening to call the police because they think I attacked them.
Oh my god, well, did you?
Did I?
Don't be ridiculous.
It's not ridiculous. I've known you, what, 24 hours? Maybe you're nuts.
God, look, I just came out here to sit in a tower, all right? Not
You're the
get
one
into
sending me
some
on these
mess with
quests.
a bunch of co-eds.
It's fine. They're gone?
Yeah, they're gone. But you should see this place. It's just, it's
Wow.
Weird stuff happens in the woods.
I will say, there's someone attacked us too. What do you... No, this is not good.
There's no way to call the cops.
I gotta tell you, that stuff escalates, man.
We can get to work. I'd really like to start enjoying a quiet summer.
Yeah, me too.
There's some plot twist a-coming. Day 3. Dog 3. Alright, I think we'll take a break here. We'll play some High on Life for a bit. This is definitely intriguing. Yes, actually quit the desktop. But the twist. There is a psycho out there. Is it us? Is it our evil inner psyche? Who knows? I feel like this game's gonna take a hot minute to warm up. But I kinda like the slow burn for sure. Hey. It's kind of scary. So our character's like being around this psycho who's kind of like unintentionally framing us for shit. That's double scary. They could kill us. The funny thing is, she literally told us to go trash their camp, which is exactly what, like, she was being like, oh, did you attack them? And I'm like, dude, you just told me to attack them, and I didn't even get a chance to, and now you're poo-pooing me for it? That's a little weird. It's so weird a champ, right? I don't know about this person. I don't know if it's just me or she has this sort of disembodied, otherworldly feel. You know, like she's not even like a human, but like some voice. It's very interesting. I'm sure there's going to be some kind of plot twist or something, but that's all right. We'll get there when we get there, right?
D3 coming our way, but those elevators are calling our names.
Blammo. Maybe this game is not quite as deep or whatever. We'll see. Ow.
Who the hell would design an elevator like this?
You don't like the elevator?
Damn, Bounty Hunter, nice. You're pretty good at elevator fights.
Okay, don't butter me up, dude. Jeez.
Let's give him a glob shot. Right out of my trick hole.
Don't say it like that. Phrasing, man.
Another wave, no problem.
I don't know why, but FireWatch gives me like maximum paranoia vibes. Maybe I'll have to have some cannabis while I play it. I think that would make me like way too paranoid though. What's the speaker's name? Is it Delilah? Deborah? Delilah sounds right. I was like, what's not paying attention? How rude of me.
Oh shit, okay, yeah, that's right, we're trespassing.
Yeah, who cares though?
You're cheating ass.
Die.
Nobody's gonna miss you.
I really don't think that the teenage girls cut that wire. Just saying. And the fact that Delilah or whatever her name is urging us to like get revenge on them with like almost no evidence is a little strange. It's almost like dream sequency. I have a lot of suspicions and questions. Goes without saying, maybe. We'll see. Oh my god, is there a way for me to... Oh, you can. You can, in fact, interrupt the shield. The game's telling me these things. I'm just not reading. I'm getting ready for like a mega plot twist on the FireWatch. What if anyone's gonna spoil it? Don't spoil it, please. I know there's something coming. I can smell it. I've played enough of these games. Probably play some more of that soon too, for sure.
Shit, okay, good job. Right, now let's take a look around this place. You know, see what kind of experiments
Hands
we're
up.
doing here.
Would you like to do the honors? We're going to try to show up those cocky nerds in the weapons lab by fusing this human with some other aliens. Just hit the button.
No, you know, I don't
Cocky
think we're
nerd sounds like a bad
qualified to
porno.
make that decision.
Look, I can do it myself if you don't want to. I'm just trying to be nice.
Oh, what the fuck are you talking about? What's this do? What's this do?
Are you fucking kidding me?
That wasn't supposed to happen.
They died. What the fuck are you doing? Well, why'd you press the button, bounty hunter?
Whoops. Goodbye, not my problem.
Separated into three sectors, each run by one of the Scrandle brothers. The Scrandle brothers are very smart, capable brothers. They're not messy or weird. They do important science here, trying to figure out if you can clone stuff.
Is it just me? Her name's Delilah, right? I don't really remember. I'm gonna call her that though. It's like she's so wacky. It's like impossible to believe that she's just like a normal character or person in the story. That just seems to be my impression so far.
Not even really supposed to be here if you're not part of the G3, but it's fine that you know that.
It's like she's too snappy and witty, you know?
Scrandle brothers, thanks. Have a good day.
It's really weird.
Welcome to Scrandle Lab. Separated into three sectors.
And like, I'm drunk, the excuse when you first meet her. And she makes another excuse where it's like, oh, I was just talking about work, but I understand why you're paranoid. Like, I don't know, it's all too convenient if you ask me.
Sheesh. Whoever works here really needs to get their shit together. What a mess.
Hello, Johnson. It's Dr. Gergen. I've been asked to send you some of my findings on the human genome. It's only a small portion, and I doubt you'll even be able to comprehend what you're looking at. But I promised Garmantuous I'd provide for you. And now please don't...
Oh God, are those Gatlians? I think I'm gonna be sick.
The fuck are... What are galleons?
I think that one's alive.
It's being slowly poked to death. Oh, right, galleons, the gun aliens. The Gatling aliens.
Oh, hey, you look nice. My name's Creature. The bad guys did experiments on me and fucked me up real bad in basically every way you can imagine.
Holy
I don't want
shit,
him.
am I glad to see another Gatlian alive in here. Are there any others?
Oh my god, yes, there's so many. Oh, but unless you've been alive, then no.
These fucking G3 bastards!
Creature, we're taking on the cartel. You want in? Oh, no. They take good care of me. Holding me against my will, cutting me open, doing experiments on me. Okay, you know what? Saying it out loud, I think they might actually be bad. I'm part of your team now.
Yeah, welcome aboard, Creature. That's your name?
I guess so. Oh, hey, we're locked in. That's fine. Don't freak out or anything. I can give birth to a bunch of little freaks and they can disable the door lock. It's fine.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's what. Beautiful. Look how one of my little fuckers just saved us. Being a dad is the best feeling in the world. Then a few seconds later, when your mutant kid dies because it has a microscopic lifespan, that's not so good of a feeling, actually. But I'm numb to it. Oh, yeah, that's one of my children. They die fast. Don't worry. It's easy to make more, and it feels good. God, I love it so much.
Well, I suppose it's better to have lived a microscopic life than no life at all, as long as you're having some kind of fun while you're doing it. It's like, should flies not live just because their lives are short?
Excuse me again, Jesus.
Nope, we can't do that. What if I go over here? Nope. Oh my god, is this some kind of a puzzle? This didn't give me access to anything.
Look who just stepped up into place.
What? Damn. Oh, you can send him through that pipe. I see.
scared that it's gonna hurt a lot, and that I'm also gonna regret not being able to use my hand in a normal way.
Uh-huh.
Can you do my right arm? I'm left-handed, so if you do my right arm, I'll still be able to write. Oh, you know what I'm thinking though? It's actually gonna be a problem because I'm left-handed, so I shoot with my left hand. So if you do my right arm,
My God,
I
you're
might not
annoying.
be able to shoot as well. This is bad. This is probably okay. Let me think. I don't know if I want to go through with this way. Maybe I could just work the desk. I don't have to be a shooting guy, you know? I can just be the desk guy.
We get the
I can
deep
type stuff
backstory
in.
lore right here.
I can coordinate all of our battles. That'll be great. I know Excel. I can do Excel stuff. I know formulas in Excel.
Oh my
So
God.
let me just do that.
Excel's like on every fucking job application form.
You did it earlier to Jamie.
So dumb. I'm like, dude, Excel takes 10 seconds to learn. I don't know why they expect you to have that as a job skill. That's like asking people if they know how to type.
So, okay, you know what? I can tell I need to do this. I gotta go through with this. I can tell you're all judging me for being a coward, and I said I would do it. I'm not gonna back down. I can do it.
Who the fuck is he talking to?
Let's get this Gatlian grafted to my arm. Oh fuck, this is gonna hurt so bad. This is gonna hurt so fucking bad. Let me just sit here and
How long does this go on for?
brace myself and just amp myself up. I want it. I'm gonna do it. I promise. I'm not gonna chicken out. I am totally gonna get a Gatlian grafted to my arm. Guaranteed. I'm committed. Even if it hurts so much I pass out, I will
There's
do
the
it.
attitude.
It's not a problem. Don't think I'm a coward. I'm not a coward. I'm gonna get my Gatlian arm. I just need a second to prep for it. Like just really brace myself for how much
I need to make a sandwich almost.
I'm gonna miss my arm. I jack off with this arm, so I won't be able to jack off anymore after you do this. So I gotta get used to that too.
Oh, that's patience has been rewarded.
Do you guys do that? Is that like protocol? Does that feel better? Maybe it's like a stranger. Like when you sit on your hand and it goes numb and you jack off. Is it like better? Because now it's another alien grafted to your arm, and that's jacking you off instead of your own body. Is that?
That's the main advantage for you.
Sounds pretty good. I'm excited now. I don't even care if it hurts. That just sounds so fun. All right, I'm gonna do that. Oh my God, come on, graft this Gatlian to me. What are you waiting for? Come on, do it. You know what? No, I am scared actually. I'm remembering how much pain Jamie looked like he was in.
Why is it so long, yo?
Okay, I'm weighing my options
It's like a train wreck. I can't turn away.
The Gatlian arm, I get to have a better jack-off experience, but it's gonna hurt a lot. Jack-off hurt.
Give and take, give and take.
Options, and it is actually very easy for me to choose because I just love jacking off so much. I'll just do that. So let's get this Gatlian on my. You know what? No, I just remembered. I pass out really easily, and I don't want to embarrass myself in front of everybody. By
You mean
passing
good in
out,
Himalayan.
and they'll all make fun of me. No. I need to. Do you have sedatives? Do you have anesthesiologists on staff to just knock me out? Maybe you knock me out before you do it, because I do want.
Oh my God.
Experience, but I don't
How much work do they
pass
put
out.
in just for this one guy in case you sit here forever?
Let's get an anesthesiologist in here. Come on, get him in here. Call him in. Roll him in right now. Come on. If he doesn't come in here and knock me out right now, I'm not getting the Gatlian arm. It's settled. That's it. But I'm not a coward. I'm setting boundaries because I definitely want to jack off a bunch. Definitely.
Setting boundaries, that's what people call it.
And I'm not afraid.
You know, that's funny because I've heard people say they're setting boundaries when it's clearly they're just afraid.
I'm not breaking character.
I've actually met somebody who was like that.
I try to think of stuff to say to stall. There we go. I saved it. I'm trying to think of stuff to say to stall.
It's like, dude.
So you don't put the Gatlian on my arm.
It's like, dude.
Okay, let me just think. Let me just think for a little bit. And don't do anything. Don't put the Gatlian on me. Don't make any rash decisions, and don't make fun of me. Just let me amp myself up. That's all I gotta do. I'm just gonna.
I actually met someone who I was dating, and then, because I think I have to explain that statement a bit, and they had just come out of like a bad relationship, but only like a couple weeks ago, and like, I forget, it's like, we had just met, and like we'd only gone on one date, and she was like, said something about me not knowing boundaries, and like she hadn't even said anything to me about it previously, and she was just like hungover from the drinking, and I'm like, dude, you're just hungover. And she was just like, oh, you can't do that or whatever, it's like you don't have boundaries. And I'm like, I think the problem here is we barely know each other, and you just came out of a relationship that did not go well for you, and you're not ready for another relationship. And that was the end of that one, for sure. She was kind of fun though, but I just felt like she wasn't ready to do another relationship. She still had a lot of baggage from the other guy.
I literally did run out of things to think So I gotta stop talking.
Relatable.
And I just hope silence is fun enough for this killer outside who might be there. And I hope that they like listening to silence enough that they don't want to interrupt the silence to kill us. So here we go, silent time. Don't put a gun on me. Bye-bye. Here we go.
Finally. Yeah. I guess that's kind of a red flag. I think about midway through the date, she started talking about her ex, and then it became apparent that she had like broken up with them like a week ago, and that's why she was looking to get into another relationship. That's unfortunately a big red flag. So but I was just like, you know, whatever, we'll just like continue the day, have some fun. We had like a good lobster dinner or whatever. But I think she was like eager to get validation because she broke up with her last relationship and she was feeling bad, which is fine and all, but she just was not ready to get into another relationship, like a serious one. And I was just like, nah. Like, the boundaries thing is like, it just sort of like felt like it came out of nowhere. Like, she read it from a self-help book, and like, it's like, dude, of course I don't have any boundaries. We met each other like fucking 24 hours ago. It's just like such a weird thing to say. I'm like, you haven't told me what is like okay or not okay with you, you know? And I was just like, this sounds like you had an issue with your ex, and now it's like, with me, it's like you're kind of like, uh-oh, this other person's the exact same person as my ex, and it's just like, dude, that's probably not true. I'm just some random person you met who's like vaguely into you. But you know, to be honest, very forgivable. I thought it was like fine. I did not continue that relationship because I felt like it just wasn't, we weren't in the same place. But understandable. I think honestly it's like I would say that a lot of people just don't know how to set the expectations for what they want in relationships. I wouldn't even say just women. I don't want to, because I think men do the same thing, where it's like, you're on a date and you want something from the other person, but you just don't know how to express that to them. Perhaps she wanted me to be like more, I don't know, like who knows, honestly. I think she liked watching movies, honestly, and maybe that was part of the problem, is I just don't like watching movies when I'm on dates. Seems like a simplistic thing like that, but some people like take great comfort in like certain activities, especially ones they used to do with their ex, and like stuff like that. But yeah, there's like incompatibility there, right? Kind of just rambling, but it just reminded me of that. Okay. Wow, that was a long speech. I like the unhinged nature of this game, though. It's like very free flow. I don't know. My biggest problem with that too was that we were doing the
Holy shit. No.
we were like finishing up with the date or whatever, and then she's going home, and like the next day she texts me all this stuff and she's like vaguely irritable, and I felt like it just to me it was like she was hungover or whatever and like kind of irritable and grumpy, and she just was like, oh, like she had, it's like one of those people, what do they call that, kinesthetic sense, where they don't realize that, like, because like I really value in people if they have the ability to be like, oh, I'm hungover, so I'm gonna be grumpy, so it's like that's just how I am. It doesn't mean anything. That to me is very valuable, and I think to me that was the biggest deal breaker with that one date that I was on. It's just like, okay, this person just doesn't know when to accept that like you're going to be cranky after a hangover and a fun night out, and like that's just life. It doesn't mean anything. Because I think I got like a wall of text messages or something. I was like, what? I'm like, dude, we barely met each other. It's like, I think some people want to have fun and like big experiences like that, but they're just like not the kind of personality that handles it well, and they have to make a big deal out of it. It's like, yeah, but it's like, we don't know each other. It's like, why are you attaching so much meaning to this right now? It's like, but it was fun. Oh well, to be honest, I felt like maybe we both sort of walked away with it with a positive experience at the end of the day. 'Cause she wasn't ready to have a relationship. I knew that she wasn't. But she got to have like a bit of adventure to break herself out of her ex's like rut. And to be honest, like I don't think I would have dated her long term. She wasn't really my type. I was just kind of doing it for fun. So at the end of the day, I think it turned out to be a good thing, which is fine. Hopefully she felt the same way, but I just immediately broke up with her, so.
I would so shoot you right now if I wasn't strapped to this operating table.
What am I supposed to hear? It's find a way out of the Gatling rafting. I don't know, man. Oh, right, these stupid pipes. Eh.
And if you keep piling my kids on top of a guy, they can do mind control shit. They can make a bad guy fight up.
That's nice.
That mind control thing doesn't last very long.
I thought it was very funny that she mentioned the boundaries thing to me, but she had never once set a single boundary in the whole time we were together. She's like, it's just like, dude, that makes sense if you know, like, say you got a job and you're like, well, I'm at my work, I don't want to be texted because I find it distracting. That's a boundary. And, like, I'm like, yes, if you say that clearly, that's okay. People should respect that. But the funny thing is she didn't say anything like that, which I just thought it was, like, really weird. Like, she was projecting from her ex or something. Especially since she was talking about him, like, a lot. I was like, oof, this is not good. It's very funny. But, you know, everybody has stuff like that. I had the same fucking hang-ups after I broke up for like a short while. So, yeah, I'm not really judging. It's like understandable, to be honest. But obviously I get a little disappointed because it's like,
This is fun. Do you do this sort of stuff all the time, bounty hunter?
interesting though.
Someone came to save us. Back to the grind.
Tell my wife I'm a
She was smart though. Quantum physics or something was what she was into. There's a sort of encryption that uses it might be quantum entanglement to ensure that it can't be cracked from advanced computing later. I forget how it works exactly. Someone out there probably knows a lot more about it than me. So I got to hear about her little project with that, which is kind of interesting. But yeah.
Looks like they brought backup.
And that's my advice, honestly. Like, when it comes right down to it, is like sometimes, you know, dating can be messy. And sometimes people aren't compatible. But you know what? You just have to, like, think a little bit long midterm and try to have fun with it. That's life. I mean, honest, and like I'm very like let it come as it may, sort of like zen about it. I'm like, if somebody is on a date because they want to get over their ex and they need an experience to shake things up, some people I guess would look at that and be like, oh, you shouldn't do that, it's unfair. And I guess it's true that I was a little disappointed that it was clearly her motivation and she wasn't ready to actually see someone for like who they really were. But I don't think I really cared that much. It's kind of selfish of me to expect. It's just kind of selfish to be obsessed about that and like, oh, like whatever. It's like, yo, if they want to go on a date to get over their ex, I think there's honestly not much wrong with that. People go on dates for all manner of reasons, right? I don't know why I'm talking about this so much, but this wacky game sort of brings it out of me, I guess. Ow.
What, you're gonna just stand here and leave all these humans in cages?
there's humans, but I'm a human.
Go on, have a good life. Can you save me? Oh, cool.
Am I saving them?
What do your people call me?
Ow.
You're a very good
Kubo. Thank you, sir.
Hi there.
Yeah, but definitely like having a sense of knowing when you're fucking cranky or whatever, and just like being honest with yourself about that is like a high priority for me in relationships. There's nothing that annoys me more than like people who are just like having a bad day and they just don't know they're having a bad day, you know? Or like who like every little emotional change is like blown up into a big deal. Just doesn't do it for me, man. I think honestly, probably most guys are in that boat and they just don't recognize that for what it is. It's like, dude, it's like, it's sad, but like I don't know, you can't be around people like that too much. And it's like, I mean, some people are more comfortable with that, I'm sure, than others, but for me, it's like a no-go. Like, yeah, if it's something serious, I don't mind. Like, you know, like, if there's like a serious thing going on in your life and I trust them when I know them a lot, yeah, well, fine, we can hash that out or whatever, or we can, you know, I can drop stuff to assist with that or whatever, and, you know, be supportive. But there's a big difference between that and just like, you know, having a couple negative emotions because like you haven't had your coffee fixed that morning or whatever it is, and you just don't realize that you just haven't had your coffee fixed and the world's actually not exploding. Like, that's something else entirely. I just value that a lot. It's like, it makes for a much better long-term relationship. Unfortunately, I think I read a study and it's like, for women, on average, it's like, that kind of trait, I guess, is called neuroticism. It's like having negative emotions that arise like very spontaneously. It's like that's very associated with having like stress, and also being like poor, which I guess is kind of like, it's kind of a weird classist thing to it too, which I sort of recognize. It's like, it's sort of classist to be like, is it classist to be like, oh, any women who like, you know, has random negative emotions or whatever and expresses them, it's just like you don't want to date them? I guess it sort of is. How is that different from like, you know, is it different from like how men, I'm just spitballing here, or how like women stereotypically want men who just like make money?
Nobody gives a shit if you kill him.
I don't know. That's a pretty dark thought, eh? I'm stereotyping, of course, but it's like, obviously not everybody's like that and they don't all follow the same rule, but, you know what I mean, just in general. But yeah, I just mean like as a statistical average, it's like the same thing as if I said like, oh, like alcoholism's more prevalent among men who are like poor as well, because that's also true as far as I know. And is it like classist to, you know, avoid people who are like generally imbibe too much alcohol? I think it's just a sign that like our societies do need to be operated better. It's like sometimes I guess some sympathy is warranted. But sympathy is one thing. I don't think you're obliged to date people who have these problems. It's like those people like that, they need more like friends or something like that, right? Of course, usually it's, I feel like if you have a problem with neuroses where you have a lot of negative emotions and stuff, it's probably because they have less support in their lives too, you know? I'm just assuming. It's like maybe your family's not so great. I mean, a lot of people I met who have that sort of problem, men or women, usually have like family issues. Or it's like the most of their family members are either not supportive or not around. So I don't know. I think you need more of a friend in that situation for sure. Someone who can be at a bit of a distance. That just makes sense, right? Oh well. There's a lot of sad stuff like that in the world for sure. Give me the hook bug. What are these puzzles, man? Phew. Oh, I made it. Incredible. Life is complicated. Whenever you start thinking about anything like that and the choices you've made, not that I'm not like, thinking about like, oh, I wish I'd done something different. It's like, no, I kind of did exactly what I had to do. I didn't really have much choice. But like, you realize like how many what is the right thing to do? Like, that's a tough question. I think that's why generally in religion, it's typically like, it's accepted, especially in like the Abrahamic religions, like the Bible-based religions, that the right thing to do is something that only God knows and human beings aren't fit to judge. Because the moment you try to hash out what's ethical, it's extremely nuanced and unclear, for sure, right? Like the whole thing I was just talking about, like, is it better to have sympathy or not for people who, like say someone has emotional issues because of like their past or whatever? How much sympathy should one have? And it's like, well, unless you can predict their future, it's really hard to judge in an individual case. Like, yeah, it's easy for me to say as a society we should provide social supports so that, people don't have adverse like events in their lives and like have some measure of like a safety net. So that if like life is going bad, it doesn't kick them when they're down, right? Because that's what contributes to those sort of like mental health problems, right? But on an individual case, it's like, is it my job in any X and Y situation? Like, I feel like you could hash that on indefinitely and never know the answer. Unless you can predict the future, right? Complicated. I don't think about that stuff too much moment to moment, but, when you're like, everything's said and done, you like can't help but stop once in a while and be like, I don't know, what is the right thing to do? I broke up with her though because I felt like at the end of the day she just was not ready for a relationship. I was like some sort of like projection of her ex that she had just broken up with in her mind, and she like didn't see me for who I was, which it's not even good for her. That's the thing, right? So I was just like, it's like I find this person kind of interesting, but it's just not worth it for any of us, for sure. So I think that's the right call to make there, for sure. It's a tough one though. It is like, it's easy for me to rationalize it like that, but in the moment it's definitely hard to say like no. It's easy to be like, well, she's having a bad day or whatever, and it's like I should be more understanding, and I'm like, it is easy to say that, but I think you just have to make a call about like where someone's at some point. It's better. But there are people out there who are a lot more maybe nurturing, I would say, even to put it in a positive way than I am, or whatever, or indulgent might be a negative way to put that, right? Just to be fair on both sides. And they would find it like a good thing to have some sympathy and maybe just do like lighter dating with this person. So that's just not me. I'm probably not well suited for that. I have a very what would you call my personality? Like, yeah. Gamer people like to call it preachy, but I think there's a big trend on Twitch to go away from the whole saccharine, like vapid streaming thing. And that's kind of why I'm starting now. Like, I watch a lot of Mike from PA. He's not like as saccharine with his viewers, and I don't know, I just prefer watching that sort of stuff. Not saying I'm very good at streaming yet, I'm probably not. I've just been rambling about bullshit for like 20 minutes or whatever, maybe an hour almost. And it's not exactly very well spoken or whatever, but I don't know, it's definitely more what I am leaning towards these days. Is less of just like, ooh, look at the game, it's pretty, oh ho ho, that's silly, Okay, I forgot we have to use this dude.
Okay, who
Oh, what? Do I have to shoot it over? No. Oh, we got it. Okay. Cool, cool.
Holy shit, is that another Scrindle? They're getting away!
What the fuck is a Scrindle? I feel like I am on drugs. I guess that's the whole point of the game, high on life. We're losing track of the plot here. Shut up. Set it on easy mode so I can click heads. I don't want to know your dumb powers or whatever. Sorry, dude. Sorry, not sorry. Ooh. Get some of this. I am missing him like crazy. Oh, now he's dead. Excellent.
Hey, feel free to use my trick hole whenever you want. I do not care.
These little guys barely even count.
I would say my biggest fascination in life is psychology and how people's environment affects their psychology, for sure. That's probably one of the big reasons I'm a big literature fan. It's because literature usually has very, I would say, like intimate and realistic portrayals of human psychology and behavior. Maybe I said this quote once on the stream before, but a favorite of mine that kind of like is a good illustration of that is Marcel Proust mentioned something, I'm paraphrasing, but he mentioned something about like one falls in love when they see someone like a quick image of someone like flitter by and they don't get a good long look at them, because then your brain fills in the rest of the details in your imagination. Like you see someone walking by in the street, or like someone turns their head, like like say in a lecture hall, because I used to be at university, and you don't get a good look at them, you see them just a little bit. It's like that's sort of the those moments where you actually start having the romantic like feeling arise, you know. There's a sort of like, oh, just a quick glance and then it disappears kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, there's something to that. I think Proust is right about that. That's just one example, you know, of like little things about human psychology that I always find interesting.
That's for ruining my life.
My biggest weakness, for instance, is that, how do I put this? I think it's quite simple actually, is I tend to test people too much. And like, I'm not quite Jerry Seinfeld level where it's like one tiny thing is like breakup material for me. Here's a funny one, like if the person that I'm dating has like bad taste in movies, and I don't mean that they like watching rom-coms, like that's fine for me, like if you just like watching a dumb certain genre, but like if they sincerely like a movie, like what's a good example? I don't know like a lot of bad movies. But there was like one that like came up recently. What was it called? It's not The Auditor or something. But like, it was like this really bad action movie, and she's like, I love that movie. It was just like, I think Snobby was watching a clip about it. I was like, man, if someone said that during a date, I would like finish the date for fun and because I don't want to be rude. But like, that would be like a deal breaker for me to take that relationship seriously. And I don't know why. It just sort of like weirds me out. And it's like, rom-coms are fun. I get rom-coms are just dumb fun, right? And there are good rom-coms too, but like, even if they're into bad rom-coms, I would be like, that's okay. But like, if they were into like bad sci-fi movies or action movies or like Disney movies or something, I'd be like, oh man, that's just like such a turn-off for me. I don't know what that is. So weird, eh?
Trust me, I've been through a lot.
But yeah, it's like, that's probably my biggest weakness. It's like, not that, that's just a funny thing, but that I test people usually. Like, I want to know that they're trustworthy. I want to know that they're emotionally stable. Which, honestly, is probably an okay safety mechanism. Because the truth is that for someone like me who is born in like the bottom class of society, it's very easy to get sucked into negative relationships because you like trick yourself or whatever. You look for a certain type of person, but like eat them. Oh, it's not gonna do it. Let me in, fool. You know, because you keep repeating the same mistakes. I think that's a common thing. The rom-coms always have that theme where like the woman constantly dates like the fucking toxic bad boy or something. It's like, yeah, well, men do that too. It's just like rom-coms aren't really geared towards men usually, so it's not as common of a theme, but it's certainly a thing. And like, it's like a defense mechanism for that, but I do go a little overboard with it. There is such a thing as like testing people too much. But yes, I think it's healthy to do that probably early in the relationship. Better, I think it's honestly like in the first few dates, a little bit of that doesn't hurt because it's like, isn't it better, and this is how I think of it, like, isn't it better to break up with someone in the first or second or third date, like very early if you know it's not gonna work? Because it's like, people's feelings just get hurt less, right? You know, it's just easier. It's so much easier because you're not used to it. So, I don't know. But, you know, maybe I take it too far and I don't live life enough. I mean, what's so wrong with dating someone for a couple months that's not a perfect match for you, right? Maybe that's a weakness of mine. Still though, it's like, it kind of makes sense. See what I mean? Ethics. Fucking complicated. It's no wonder that Islamists, and I think a lot of Christians just believe that like, the right thing to do is like unknowable by humans. It's like, it's just unbelievably complicated.
Hey, you need something to eat, don't you? Come on, come over here. Okay, real
What are you doing here, dude?
Don't worry, I'm on a break. I just wanted to
have bought something.
I want to shoot you though. So we're at an impasse. Okay, I won't shoot you, I guess.
Okay, sure. Take
I don't want to buy anything, man. I don't care about your consumerist upgrade shit that gives me a false sense of progression. Whatever.
I want to reassure you, we have an A+ health code rating. The inspector was just here yesterday.
Hey, asshole, we can see you hiding in there!
No, you can't. Fuck off.
I would be dating people right now. But again, I really do plan on moving to Norway. I am maybe delusional that that's going to happen anytime soon, but I really, really, really care about that. Like, to me, I'd rather work like a dead-end job in Norway, if you want to put it that way, than even have a good job here, if that were an option. Maybe we can, like, expand it. I don't know what the fuck I can do here. What the hell? Throw them into the blender. How do we open this? Hello.
No food. It's just a sad bullshit cafeteria.
Uh-huh. How do we get through this puzzle, yo?
Be honest with me, it confused you. You look like you need a bite to eat. Look, it's not just because we're in a cafe. Don't starve to death out there.
Oh my god. It's the game of annoying characters. Maybe it's like fate telling me to be less annoying. It's like, this is what it feels like. So you like rants, eh? Just kidding. Who are you? You're very interesting. Look at this guy. How the fuck do I get in here? Huh. Oh, what if I do this and then do this? Oh, it's so simple. It's in the computer. Ooh, that's a very IKEA looking chair there or something. I'll be right back. second.
One day they'll all see.
I'm glad I'm on your team. I get to stab a lot of people, and you get to stab a lot of people, so it's a win-win for both of us, really.
Just grabbing an old bottle of wine in case I want that later, but I think I might just stop at the one beer. Ah, now this door's open. Hello? Oh, there we go. Audio's being janky.
Hey, it's been a while, bounty hunter.
Oops. I don't know. My bar is just too high, that's the problem. Like, I'm holding out also for somebody who's, just knows people really well. Maybe that's very, like, almost socially traditional of me, or whatever you want to call that. It's like, oh, a woman who has, like, emotional skills. Ooh, how fucking unique of you. But I think that's a lot of what it is.
How are things going?
It's like, it's just someone who's good with people.
Why are you still following me?
I think it's just a rare trait for men and women nowadays. It's like, isn't it kind of like a common like joke that people are so into their Instagram life that they have no idea how to actually deal with real relationships or people anymore? Probably true for the most part. Everyone's like very self-absorbed and self-indulgent nowadays. I'm probably the same, to be honest. I mean, I get along really well with my brothers and stuff. And, like, I do know how to be, like, a good friend and a good brother if I need to. But I'm also, like, very picky when it comes to, like, extra friends outside of that or romantic relationships. Which, again, like, as I said, it's, like, in my mind, it's justified, and it's probably, like, to an extreme or a weakness, but I think it's, generally speaking, better to be on the safe side. I don't know, that's just my self-help advice I'm throwing out into the universe. Right. I would say that most of my relationships, it tends to be that I put in a lot more effort, or at least I feel like I put in a lot more effort than my partner does. Especially when it comes to like planning dates, doing events, keeping things like fun and interesting and fresh. Not because they're not into me, but just because I feel like I end up taking the role of like the lead person in the relationship so strongly that it becomes like a very unbroken habit. I understand like it's easy to become reliant on somebody for that. And I know guys who have this problem too, where they just do not initiate romantic shit. And yeah, if you want a relationship, you have to have that as a skill. Like, this is some stupid self-help preachy advice, but I cannot recommend that enough. It's like, if you want a long-lasting relationships that are like somewhat enjoyable, where it doesn't feel like a chore, it's like you have to master the skill of keeping it fresh, doing new things together, understanding people's like day-to-day emotions, you know, and it's reasonable. It doesn't have to be like a freaking roller coaster ride constantly, you know, or like massively exciting the entire time, but you do have to master those basic skills. That's like advice that I have. Like, a lot of people who want to do dating but aren't like successful at it, and by that I mean it's like they do go on dates, but it's like it doesn't last very long and they end up like breaking up or it's disappointing or something. It's because they really just haven't mastered those basic skills. And once a couple months is not enough. You should like try to do little things fairly frequently, and then maybe once in a while do like a big trip. That's just how it is. Hell, maybe I'm not even that good at it, but I do understand that's essential, you know?
Whoa, what the hell are those things?
I don't know. I guess they're my kids. They figured out a way to get me pregnant. Then bam! I shot all these weird freaks right out of my ass.
Ass babies.
Oh God, I love them so fucking
Ass
much.
baby's such like a hilarious insult. I don't know why.
Church here mad because they're not human. Nobody really knows what species these things are, but I love them anyway. I mean, how could I not? How could a father not love his fucked up little alien spawn? It's impossible.
Let's save your people.
That's fucked up.
Hey, Stacy. Hey, Carla.
Hey, they want us to bang, but she used to be my boss.
Yeah, I was supposed to fire her, and then we all got abducted by aliens. Anyway, yeah, we're not attracted to each other.
Yeah,
I mean, she's cool, but not my type.
well, like, she tried to fire you.
She's not cool.
We should rescue your friends.
Okay, let's rescue them. These are weird. Is it just me or they look 2D in here?
Here, I'm gonna kill some time.
I don't know how to rescue them. I'm stupid.
Never mind.
Well, let's ignore them. That was an encounter of sorts. Yeah, and of course I obviously suffered from the put your life on hold until things are better situation. But I don't want to date anybody while I live in my stupid tiny town in Alberta. It's like, yo, no thanks. I am planning to leave as soon as possible. That's just how it is.
Why'd you let me sit there gathering dust?
I guess you have to balance that stuff out, right? Why can't we all have like champagne socialism so you're not like, you know, tying your romance to stupid shit like, oh, do I have a job? Do I have like a house? Do I have like, am I ready? Am I like, you know, is my life together enough? Do I have time? How stressed out am I? It's like, the truth is, when you're not stressed out, and you have like a decent amount of security in your life, it's like, yeah, enjoying things and, what's the word? Actualizing yourself is a lot easier. discovering who you are and shit, much easier, for sure. Maybe the worst thing about it is I feel like I'm just waiting to find someone who's like middle class or upper class, because it's like I want to pull myself out of this shithole, and like there's something a little bit like hypocritical about that, perhaps. To be honest, it's kind of dark to admit, but like there's a part of me that finds it hard to imagine dating someone who's like from my class circle, who like has like a low income background. Because it's just like I don't want to be in that sort of like chaotic mental state constantly. And I also am a little bit internally classist, and I just assume people from my background have like less stable emotions. I've been there, so I know that how the fucking is. I've made a lot of effort to be a more consistent, stable person that sticks to stuff. Like I've managed to get through school, but I just assume that most people from my social class are not like that. Can you blame me? Can I progress in this game at all? Like, what the fuck is wrong with this game? Yeah, I want to go this way. I've fucking been here. What the fuck is your problem, game?
How's it going? Go on, have a good life.
Oh my god, that's how you rescue them? Wait, did I just need to click on these other people again? Oh my god, game. Come on, dude. To be honest, this game is made for like absolute dum-dums. I'm still failing it, but I'm gonna bitch about it anyways. Oh yeah, you just... Oh, you good. Can I save you, or are you glitched? Uh-oh. I don't know if we need to save them anyways. We need to find somebody, apparently. Why is it pointing me this way? Like, was that all bonus shit? What? Oh. Really? What? No, I've been here before.
Hi, Angela. Are you gonna keep running?
I wasn't running.
Oh, our misunderstanding.
Whatever. Fuck you.
Oh. The double guns. Give them the double guns. The clone mulcher. Alrighty. Oh, boss. Didn't think there was time for that already.
Hey, watch it. Oh, don't hit my tongue.
Well, so goes. Yeah, it's tough. It would honestly take a lot for me to turn off the old sus radar when it comes to dating somebody that was more from my like social class. That's pretty fucked up to say, but that's also kind of reality. But I think it's healthy to admit stuff like that about yourself to a certain degree. It's like insight, right? I don't know if there's any way for me to get over it though. It's tough, it's tough. That's the thing, to know you have a problem like that is not the same thing as finding the leverage to help you overcome it. But...
Thank you so much for bringing me out. It's an honor. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay. My dude, min compass. The fuck, am I supposed to shoot that green glob? Oh my god.
You think it was a good idea to go in here? What is wrong with you?
Shut up! Don't judge me! I can only be judged by chat. And the cringe gods, which I'm sure I failed already. There has to be a way to get over there, right? We should focus on this first. But then again, I don't like middle class people either. They're very mercenary. That's probably the worst thing about it. I've met a lot of middle class people because I went to university, and like they are unbelievably mercenary. It's like a lot of them are very like Christian mindset, but only in the sense that like it's to get a good marriage or something like that, which is totally self-serving and all just to like appease mommy and daddy so they can keep the money in the family. I'm just like, oof. There's something about that that sort of like turns my gut. I don't know. It makes like, it gives you the feeling like your heart's dropping into your stomach. It's just like, what? There's something very dismal about it, you know? I don't know which one to press here. Oh, this doesn't matter. That's a cool little puzzle.
How's it been going so far?
So I don't think I could date someone who's middle class either, to be honest. Oh, almost.
This hurts me too, you know.
Like, care. I just want to get to Norway. I've idealized Norway too much. I just assume people there are like less crushed by their society and they'll just have more like honest personalities and shit like that. Obviously it's kind of an illusion, but it's the illusion that I would like to stick to. I think we all have little goals like that that just are irrational, but it's like you kind of have to stick to it. Oh, you think you're so hot. Well, you're not. Why shouldn't I believe that, though? Like, Norway's one of the happiest countries in the world. I think Denmark's up there as maybe, like, the happiness. So one of those Scandinavian countries would probably do it. And, you know, it's like happier people just tend to be more self-actualized and shit. So why shouldn't I believe it? Plus, people in those countries are just less, like, douchey, competitive, narcissistic even. Generally speaking. There's, like, evidence to back that up, too. Obviously, I'm, like, romanticizing it or whatever you want to call it, but... how much, though, am I really doing that? Like, that's the question. A secret. My ultimate form. Oh, I don't want to, though. That's the problem. Ow. Actually doing some damage to me.
Why the hell are you guys in charge of a bunch of research labs? Are the three of you even scientists?
Ow, I'm getting hurt, yo. How dare you? You're making me actually have to concentrate a wee bit. Oh, I healed. Oh, okay. I guess I'm fine now. Oh. I always do that in my life. My only true love is to get to Norway now. I used to do that in high school. I was like trying to like find a because I knew that, you know, growing up my parents like fought a lot and they were constantly yelling at each other and us, like me and my brothers. And it was obviously after a certain point, like say you're around 14 or 15, you start to realize that it's just fucked up and most people don't behave like this. So I put my hopes in like finding a girlfriend and having a stable life, and I think I stayed with her for about 6 years. Maybe in part to prove to myself that I could have a stable relationship. And guess what? I didn't really solve the problem. But isn't that part of like being human? Is you like try to create like these idealistic goals like that, or in this case, me going to Norway. And, you know, as a like, well, at least I have to try kind of deal. That's the human condition, essentially. I think there's nothing to do in life but do stuff like that, essentially.
Holy shit, I smell a corpse ready for
You have to make up your own, like, meaning in life. You have to insert value onto random activities that you do because there's really nothing else to do it for you. Maybe that's very Nietzschean, I suppose. I have to carve them up. Oh, fine, whatever.
Oh, alien biology, always, it's just fucked. It's just fucked, really.
Is it? Looks pretty similar to me. Maybe I'm just a contrarian.
Good, delicious. Now let me dig into the last brew.
And do. Og do.
Oh, fuck yes! 3 in one sitting! Each one more visually better than the last. You know what? I don't say this often, but I'm fully sated right now. I actually need a rest.
Cool. I'm glad we could get to that point with you. I guess. Me?
Fuck, it's gargantuous?
I don't know who you are. I have not been paying attention this whole game. What do you mean?
You're just afraid because we keep killing off your goons.
If you just stop invading my planet, I'll leave. Will I leave? Maybe I'll leave. No promises.
You monster!
I'm not going to ask you to stop. I doubt you'd listen. I'd just like to inform you.
You want me to turn off the game? No. Oh boy. Oh boy. What are they?
Fuck, guess we've really awakened the beast now.
What? Okay, okay.
Alright, well, we never did figure out, who's the boss of those guys, but, let's pack it in and head home.
Some to see, as you say. Can we head home this way or what? Let's just use the T thing. It's this way. What? Really? Okay. I think, now that I've said all that and I think about it, I think there has to be a point where you just stop doing that in your life, though. You can't just romanticize little objectives in your life endlessly. As sort of like, oh, going to Norway will be like, if you just do that your whole life, your life will just be an endless series of wanting things and overcoming challenges, which will be very unsatisfying. I mean, like, doesn't a large part of your life should just simply be doing things that are actually satisfying? Like going on hikes, traveling a bit, reading books, shit like that. Socializing, things like that. Like, shouldn't your life consist of more of that, especially if your goal is satisfaction, than just a bunch of, endless little like, oh, if I meet this correct person or if I move to this country, things will be a lot better. Now, the difference is I truly believe that going to a Scandinavian country is a great way to get out of this fucking hellhole, because I believe this country is politically fucked. And it's only going to get worse from here. I have plenty of reasons for believing that, but... for instance, it's like, recently it came out that, and I don't know the exact details, but recently it came out that, Canada, the RCMP had actually been sent over to Ukraine to do special ops training. And the reason they were sent to do that is very clearly because the US couldn't do it because it was too hot for them, and it risks direct confrontation with Russia, because they don't want US troops getting killed by Russians, because then it can, like, escalate into full-blown warfare, which of course the US isn't going to do. They like the proxy war situation, right? I think everybody kind of agrees on at least that last part. And it just makes me think, it's like, yeah, I mean, Canada has quickly become like a militaristic, totalitarian footstool for the US, and I don't think it's getting any better. Like, I honestly believe one needs to get out, like, right now. as soon as possible. Like, you have to flee, like, as soon as I, like, realistically can. I'm just going to try to find work in the other country because, yeah, it's going down the shitter. Like, and maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but here's the thing. Even if it's, like, not totally true, the truth is, like, the economic conditions in Canada and in the U.S. have not been improving. They've only been worsening over the decades. So at the very least, times are going to get tougher with that sort of thing. More contract work, less stable work, more competitiveness, more, you know, shitty society, police state shit. It's just going to get slightly worse unless there's huge reform. And honestly, it's like, I think Lenin went to, was it Sweden? And then came back once the revolution started kicking off in Russia. It's like, you can always come back if you see the opportunity to reform. It's like, you don't have to think of it as just fleeing your country. It's like, oh, I'm perfectly willing to come back and participate in, like, reform and revolution if such an opportunity presents itself. But I don't really plan on being, like, a martyr for it when there's no hope. I mean, it takes more than just one person, obviously, even if you're, like, someone like Lenin. So there's no point in, you know, doing useless martyrdom, right? I'm not going to do that. So, yeah, I mean, that's why I impute so much romanticism, quote unquote, to Norway. So, I think there's a certain amount of that you have to do in life, but for most people, I would probably recommend that they just do actually satisfying things, right? Too bad that the way our society works, there's very little left that one can do that is satisfying. Or if it is, it's like people do not, if it's not materialistic and something you can show off, then we've been told it has no value in society. And in a way it doesn't, because the way you get ahead in society is by showing off. Like, it's more important in North American culture to speak quickly and with confidence than it is to actually have been widely read or even, like, worldly in any way. Worldliness is a little bit more accepted by American culture because you can talk about the vacations you've been on and blah, 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 blah. You know, that kind of, like, materialistic show-off drivel shit. But definitely, like, reading is not. Unless you read, like, a bunch of, like, bullshit nonfiction books, like, you know, like maybe 12 Rules on Life, or like snappy, like, political commentary or some shit, just so you can just make quips to people. But actually, like, just reading for the sake of it, it's not valued. People just think you're some kind of wacko. But they do like, you know, people who can, like, and the thing is, I can do that if I feel like it, but I do find it very disturbing how that has more weight than, I don't know, actually making an effort to participate, you know, in either, you know, literature or anything, the world around you. Like, Jordan Peterson gets put on a pedestal, I mean, obviously by right-wing idiots, so I guess it's not fair to put him up as an example, but he gets put on a pedestal for, like, writing self-help books, but he's like published some papers. I think Maps of Meaning is, like, peer-reviewed technically, but, like, nobody cites him, nobody who peer reviews him takes him seriously. And it's like he's put up as, like, an intellectual. Ben Shapiro is the same thing. It's like, oh, intellectual because they can talk fast and they get a lot of media coverage because of, like, the conservative circuit, right? But people value that as intellectualism more than just someone who's, I don't know, has an open mind and read a lot, which to me is like, isn't that sort of, or somebody who, you know, takes it seriously and wants to know the actual truth of, like, I don't know, say psychology in Jordan Peterson's case, you know, wants to actually know more about human psychology and, like, prove it with experiments to the point where they're very confident in what they know. That's not worth anything in our society. No wonder Americans are constantly dissatisfied with themselves and feel sick all the time about it.
Great. Another Gatlian. How many more can you hold? I feel like we're hitting the upper ceiling here.
Yeah, I'm Creature.
I should hope so. We've got a million of them.
To meet you.
Wow, we've only been streaming for 2 hours. It feels like a lot longer. That was a long fucking ramble, but there's nothing else to do in this game except ramble. And I don't want to interrupt too much of FireWatch. So, but we will play that, I think, next time too. When I'm having a more chill day, that'll be interesting.
Yeah. I actually wanted to run something by you. How would you feel about me maybe fixing up my old bounty hunting ads? Maybe putting you in them to drum up business? I mean, my name.
Everything you say, when you say it like that, freaks me out.
We'd be stupid not to capitalize on your growing reputation.
Yo, you guys are fresh out of Friendalos.
Oh, is this Tweeg?
Oh, hey, I'm Tweeg. I'm dating your sister.
This fucking guy. Tweeg, you need to leave.
Lizzie says it's cool if I'm here.
You're just gonna let this sack of shit eat all my friendalos and tongue kiss your sister?
I'm the one who bought those fucking friendalos. And leave Tweeg alone. You know he has a barbed tongue and he's very sensitive about it.
I can go.
No, Tweeg. You're staying.
He seems normal.
Tell him he's staying.
Look, he doesn't even love you. He's just after our house.
It's our house.
Exactly. Hey, Tweeg, you gotta be careful around Lizzie. She's just gonna hit it and quit it. Real heartbreaker. Get up now while you're still in the green. And hey, you want a real lover? Talk to me.
Don't you have a galaxy to
That was a lot.
Tell him to leave.
That was a lot packed into like one paragraph there. It seems okay so far.
I appreciate it. But honestly, it's my house too. So I don't even know why I have to fight for this.
Like this guy in the corner here. He's like looking at everything. He's like, oh.
I love you, baby.
Ah! Disgusting! Look at this! They're not even the same
Specious, yo. What's wrong with you?
Do you know how many holes he has? And they're all really advanced level holes.
Advanced. Need more skills,
His holes
I guess.
are more your speed.
Shut the hell up, Gene.
I'm so confused of what I'm hearing.
All you do is sit on our couch and mope about how sad your life is. You're a leech trying to eat all of our friendalos and use the only family I have left to relive your glory days.
Hey, your family's doing a great job.
True, but is that really so bad? It's sad though, for sure.
I mean, it's not as fast as I could have done it, but
I know they're doing a great job, and I'm proud of them. But I'm stuck here dealing with you all the time, and you're fucking pathetic. Tell him how pathetic he is.
Huh? Gene is working through stuff.
Hey, come on. Don't make it sound
You
so
are
sad.
sad. What the fuck, dude? Just admit it.
I wasn't in a good place when you found me, but I feel like I'm part of
You were on a bench with your legs missing and society had abandoned you, my dude. That's pretty fucking sad.
I'm just worried about you dating this weird freak who just wants to steal my couch away
Yeah,
from me.
freak. I don't know, he's like the most normal character so far. But he's only talked like 3 lines, so I don't know.
No complaining about who lives here.
Lives here? He's gonna live here?
I mean, if you think we're ready, Tweeg.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Hey, shut up, Tweeg. This isn't about you.
Oh, fuck.
Why? Because you're worried you'll have to share a cushion?
No! Because I'm concerned. You barely know this guy. And it's dangerous out there for humans.
Oh, that's rich and condescending. I am not an idiot. I know what I'm doing.
The dialogue in this game just goes on forever. I kind of like it though. If you say so. I don't really have any skin in this game. I don't care. He's not getting my room, so why should I give a shit?
Art, good. Like I needed your approval anyway.
This is a mistake.
Ugh, that's enough.
Whose
of
line is
this.
that?
Tweeg, let's go to the park.
To kiss?
Yeah. Anybody got a fucking problem with that?
Eesh. Sorry I said anything. Let's just get back to the bounty hunting. Can't wait to show you those new commercials.
Vistucioso.
You seen Merv? No. Why don't you come in? He took off as soon as we got home. He disappeared. I've never seen him.
Another terrible weakness of mine. I love mulling over my weaknesses. And that's very self-absorbent of me. Oh, there we go again. Some people love to I have the proletariat weakness of like finding every little weakness in myself. I don't think it really depresses me too much, but honestly, it's kind of like self-indulgent and like silly. I mean, can you blame me? I mean, on the other hand, I'm also just streaming, which is like living my life. It's not like I have analysis paralysis, you know. But yeah. Anyways, what was I talking about? Weaknesses. The fuck? I don't even know. Maybe I've had too much to drink. It'll come back to me in a minute. I'm setting a strange tone for this stream. It's just totally off the fucking hook, man. Why not, though? It'll come back to me in a minute. For sure. I picked all this shit up, though, because I think with my dad, we used to watch movies and we would just talk over the movie the whole time. So maybe this reminds me of that time with my dad. Those are the only times I spent with him, and I guess I kind of enjoyed them. We didn't really get along doing anything else, so. Oh, multi-stage puzzles now. Kind of like a Metroidvania, right? Ah, for money. Fuck. You ruined it by making everything about fungible cash. For something called fungible, it sure zaps the fun out of everything. Am I right? My terrible puns. Please forgive me. Var så snill till gi mig. Var skal jag gå? Eh? The fuck? Explore worlds or start the next bounty? Explore? Are these just places I've already been to? I don't really want to rehash them. It's like literally just money to collect, which I do not give a fuck about. Isn't that capitalism in a nutshell? It's like it's all ends up being about money, which supposedly you can use to buy anything, and you just can't. I'll tell you, man, if you want new experiences, books are cheap. And yeah, like traveling's expensive to be fair, but like there are ways to do it cheaper too if you like backpack. Besides, you have to travel smart, otherwise you end up staying in the same hotel chains and like the same tourist traps. And you don't really see, you don't see anything actually new or see anything with new eyes.
He took off as soon as we got home.
For sure.
He disappeared. I've never seen him this upset.
My mother's cousin just died snorkeling off the coast of Mexico. She was making a big deal out of it, but she didn't really know the guy. But I don't know, I think it just made her think of like death because she's getting old now. Which is understandable, I suppose. But yeah. But yeah, it does make you think, I guess, a little bit. It's like, he died at like, what did she say? I think she said like 41, 49 or something. So really young and out of the blue. Probably heart failure or something while he was snorkeling, perhaps. But I'm not really sure of the details.
Oh shit, another Gatlian!
That's right. Supposedly he's in the possession of another G3 officer, a scientist named Dr. John Giblets. And guess what?
John Giblets, Jingleheimer Schmidt. His name is my name too.
Do it the old-fashioned way and ask around.
And ass ourselves around.
I'm sending you to Blim to gather intel.
We're on the same wavelength, Gene.
Tired, kid. Maybe you'll appreciate me more if you do my job.
Okay, Gene, all right. We'll try to find him ourselves.
All right.
Be annoying? I already do that full time.
Oh, and before you go, you might need a little extra help. I went ahead and unlocked a new feature on your bounty suit. You're welcome.
Ooh. Is it useful and not disgusting?
Hey there, bounty hunter.
Detective
it's me,
mode.
Pseudo again. I'm still here. I've been here the whole time. Welcome to detective mode. I'm here to help you sleuth out all those really big, crazy mysteries.
Suddenly, with the fucking detective mode, why haven't we
Like
had access
3/4 through this game?
All right, let's see.
Yeah, exactly. What the fuck?
Dr. John Giblets. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Oh, fantastic. Let me do a quick search for you. This will solve it immediately, and no matches found. Oh, well, it's never that easy. Why don't you start by interrogating the locals?
Okay, I figured it out. This thing's fucking useless. Thanks, Gene.
I'm gonna give Sarah a call. Maybe she.
No. We're gonna do it friendly way.
He didn't show me
I'm sure they'll help us. Vote Klug. Yeah, this dude's sus. Mega sus.
Next time on The Michael Show. Hey, look, you got a scanner on the bounty suit? You might as well use it.
I know, dude.
I'm gonna buy you a nice panini later. Okay, bye-bye.
What the fuck? Why are you guys watching this?
I just started, bro. Come on, calm down. Why am I watching this? Every TV show should ask you that before you watch it, I think. It should be like, just a general policy.
Hey, come over here.
What's up?
This is the sussy commercial.
Tell you something.
What do you gotta tell
Why does he have french fries in his pocket?
You into the Arby's we're in, right?
No one.
Okay, Arby's has a brand new sandwich.
Arby's?
They want me to tell you about.
Apparently, Aaron Hansen from Game Grumps is obsessed with Arby's. I think he is, right? Also Wendy's, but...
You start copying their voice.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it very confusing because commercials are usually designed to be heard from outside of the room, you know, so it's just gonna be confusing to know who's talking if you're doing my voice.
Well, that's too bad. People should be smarter.
True.
Arby's. Meat sandwich.
Meat.
Hey there, I'm talking to you right there.
Hey.
You want to get high off of other aliens, but you don't have the necessary
I wasn't gonna say it,
body to do so?
but...
Don't worry. You come on down to the
Oh, now I'm worried.
store, and we're gonna hook you up with one of our brand new hyper.
Oh, that's what the ports are for.
Shove other living creatures into and drain them of their life force, so you can get high. I know
Whoa.
what you're thinking. Can I put a human in the brand new hyper bomb? Because the old ones are too small for humans. Guess what? The new ones are big enough for humans. So yes, you could put a human in there and then smoke the human. And that's not all.
Jigabong.
Now we'll give you a pair of mag boots. Magnetic boots that let you walk off.
Those are like from
walls. Isn't that
Andor,
so
yo.
neat? If you use them to walk off walls, they'll get you high too. Mag boots. They'll
Literally.
get you high. Hyper bombs. They'll also get you high. So come on down to High on Live.
Oh.
Secrets revealed.
Is this like a hint that we're supposed to get those boots or what?
Their secrets and their agent. And we're gonna reveal them. Just watch. Doors were invented in my backyard, but don't tell anyone. It's a secret.
Doesn't sound like that's true.
Another ancient secret.
Hey, actually, hold on. You can't reveal that secret.
Oh, not even this secret?
No, sorry, not that one. No.
Alright, yeah. I guess we could get those boots, but I'm not gonna bother with that right now.
Customer, would you be interested in some quote-unquote food?
No. I think we're probably gonna cut it short here. I feel like I've played a lot on a new portion with investigation, apparently. FireWatch has also been intriguing. I think it's saved recently. So yeah. Hope you enjoyed the stream. A little bit more chaotic energy, but that's how it is sometimes. I like streams like that too. People just are like half awake and just saying whatever. Those are some of my favorite Game Grumps streams. I think it's tempting as a streamer to try to be on the ball all the time, but at the end of the day, some of the best content comes from just being like totally unhinged. So that's life. Sometimes you just gotta let it ride. Anyways, have a good rest of your day. We'll see you later. Thanks for tuning in, and thanks for all the support if you are watching. Definitely really appreciate it. It helps me to want to keep doing this and keep getting better at what I'm doing. So yeah. All right, see you next time.